leadership camp. So I'm Jason Maskill, and I'm Blake Cook. We get the honor to run the team meeting today.
Did anybody not put a business card in here? It's because you didn't bring one. Does anybody have a business card that they can put in here to win $20? If you didn't bring your business card, you're something out of luck.
Okay, that works for me. All right, so that's going to go over there. We'll get to that a little bit later.
Pass the bucket.
All right, so mission moment. So we start every meeting with the mission moment. Actually, we do this on my team as well. Some versions of this. Who can tell me what a mission moment is? What's a mission moment?
We're looking for a mission moment, or the definition of a mission moment. Morning.
Okay, so mission moment, when you observe someone, and I'm not sure if this was their intention, but I know like at KWRI, in the home office, they start every meeting with a mission moment, which is when someone, it lives out our culture, and you say, hey, this person did this week, and it was living out our culture. Does anyone have a story they could tell real quick of someone that's been in our market center that's lived out our culture that you would share with us?
Does anyone spend time in the office?
Well, my office door's locked.
Do you have one? No? Okay.
Yeah.
Anyone?
I think you two are a great example of it. Stepping up when questions asked and when there's a need, and helping out the market center to better further everything. So stepping up and leading the team meeting.
Thanks, man.
Oh, thank you.
Well, at least Jason.
Yeah, I was like, unfortunately, I don't think it's good enough for me. You guys, I mean, this office is awesome. There's got to be somebody out here that's seen somebody do something good in the hallway.
I mean, I kind of have one. I'm not like part of the team yet, but Liliana has been great and went above and beyond already, like mentoring me basically and showing me how you guys kind of operate, and she has went above and beyond. So I'd say I've seen already kind of what you guys' mission is and what you guys' team and the benefits of it. So I'd say that's something. So.
Thank you. That's awesome. Amy?
Okay, so on the 1st of April, I closed on an investment property, my first one. So I'm going to give props to Blake and Brian for both like pushing me in that direction. But Brian Cantrell was the listing agent, and his wife, Monica, we had agreed to no inspections. And then my insurance company said, we're not going to insure the roof. And even though they didn't have to, she pushed for them to file the claim and get the roof done. And we got it done like one day before closing.
Oh, awesome. Kim has just always been really encouraging, and she always just sees the need, and she's always there when you really need her.
Awesome.
That's really cool.
Awesome.
Well, that's way better than Jason and Blake because we're.
Hey, I got the party started, guys. No one was saying anything. Come on now.
All right. So every month. We have an opportunity to do what?
It's the mission moment. So it's the Steffes Award, and I'm fairly new enough, but they just changed this award, which is really cool. Can you speak to kind of the meaning of the actual new award?
Yeah. So
Speedy,
every month we get to highlight one of our agents that really lives out our culture. This one agent that now it used to be the Speedy, but now it's the Steffes Award, which is after Ron Steffes. Ron Steffes was the epitome of culture. Ron was the person that whenever he walked into the market center, he made sure to say hi to everybody. He was genuinely invested in everybody here. And so therefore the Steffes Award every month is named after Ron. And you want to tell a little bit about the person that
I do. So last week it was Elise Riley. And so this week she actually chose Tim Wooten.
Yeah.
To step up and help agents around him at any time. He's a good man overall, and someone who would never draw attention to himself for having such amazing character. Kind of think oh yeah, slideshows. This takes a minute. Did I go too far?
No.
No, now you get more forward.
bad, my man. I hate calendars. Like everybody.
All right. So one of the great things about KW would be our training calendar. So don't forget our lead generation. Who in here is going to lead generation class?
Like 4 people.
Awesome. So who in here has thought it was valuable?
0 people.
I hope everybody raised their hand. Awesome. Lead generation class. So who's this?
This week we've got, so what is it? Today's the 11th, today's the 12th. So we've got Kelly Nystrom talking about leveraging a powerful database, and then Wes Linden talking about basically working with your Mets. Both of those would be really, really good things to go to.
Don't forget the ISA Mastermind. So by the way, these 2 names right here, I think sometimes we don't realize how fortunate we are to have the people in here that do this business. Like these 2 names, the Claire and Ashton, are names that people would travel halfway across the country to hear them speak. And we have them right here in our market center. So don't forget that. And then of course, I'll be teaching lead generation for farming next Monday. So
who here is going to those lead generation classes, the 36, 12, 9? Very cool. I've seen some of you guys. Does everybody know what ISA means? Just really fast. Perfect. Inside sales associates. I want to make sure. Oh, so the next slide. I'm noticing a trend here. Did you look at the slides ahead of time? Because that might be what this is showing.
And talking about the ISA, so don't get too caught up on the word ISA. Just remember, everybody in here that sells real estate has one job. What is it?
Lead generate.
Lead generate. So that's what an ISA does. So let's learn from the best. So
for sure. Mega Camp early bird tickets are on sale now, August 23rd and 24th. I can't believe it's already time for Mega Camp beginnings. I feel like it's just, I know it was not, it was family reunion, but it's nuts. Has anybody been to Mega Camp? Has anybody not been to Mega Camp? That's probably the easiest way to do that.
In person.
Very cool.
You haven't?
Not in person.
You ever in person?
I had 3 years of virtual.
I have.
Yeah. So
3 families and no members.
So one thing I love about Mega Camp, so each one of the television events have something different, and Mega Camp has a lot of on stage. They'll bring these high producing agents, someone that does something above the average, something that makes them stand out, and they put them on stage, and Gary just asks them questions on how they do what they do, so we get to learn from the best. And then if you are going and you're in MAPS coaching, you get free tickets, so don't forget that. So there you go.
Does anybody know how many people we have talking on stage?
He's married with me.
7. How many agents went?
He wants to make sure that he always go.
Just total like 20. This year. 12,000 people. And we had 7 agents from our market center talking to 12,000. Oh, for sure.
Who's been to Mega Camp? Into the virtual.
Yeah.
So who has a story about something amazing they learned from Mega Camp?
Jason, it's one of those things that as you on the road to mastery and being the best person you can be, you're always picking something up. I mean, every time you go, and it leads you to the place that you are today. And so I need to get back all the things I've learned from going to Mega Camp each and every time. So it's difficult.
Yeah. I think it's also valuable to see perspective outside of our backyard. Like, I think sometimes, I remember sitting next to Jim Bolin. I keep looking at him, but I remember sitting next to Jim Bolin, and we're looking at these numbers from what they're doing, and we're looking at the size of the town and the average sales price, and we both were like, we could do this right here. Like, there's something special about what they're doing. Like, we could do that right here, right, Jim? Yeah. So
that was the same thing that Dan Holt was sitting by Chris Russell at Mega Camp and saw people doing the same thing. The 120,000, 150,000 in the community, and he looked at Russell and he said, "Why is nobody doing that in Springfield?" Because there was one big dog at the time, couple close to that, and he said, "I think I can do that." Well, and the rest is history. He just came back and implemented the ideas that he saw there in his MREA, but he started really, his rocket ship took off at Mega Camp.
Wow. So that was the one lever that caused Dan to become.
Yeah, I think it was.
That's awesome. Dan spoke to it as well in 6 personal projectives, and so if you ever teach that class here again, attend that just for that portion of it. It's huge.
You know, something we don't actually talk about until we get there, but I think it has a lot of value, and our market center does this. I don't know if every market center does, is when you go, we all get together and have dinner, and we talk outside of the actual event. Sometimes that's probably those conversations are some of the more powerful ones I have for the entire trip, and I walk away with almost thinking that time we had together, and sometimes it's with other agents from other market centers, but that time we have together is some of my favorites and what I pull my favorite. So
for sure. Who here goes to the trainings? And like, I saw like 2 hands. But I'm totally going off script here. Like we had 7 people go speak on a national stage. If you guys aren't leveraging the trainings that we have in this building, especially Amy and Maria right now, then you guys should absolutely be showing up to these trainings because they are like, they pack out like not stadiums, but auditoriums for sure. And you can walk into these people's office and say, how would you do this thing? And they will help you do it. Yeah. So if you see somebody that's going super fast or doing something, it's probably because they're leveraging the doors, they're opening the doors, they're talking to the people. Yes, super important just to know that. Oh, guys, do not call. Obey the do not. Who cold calls? Actually, I need to do this. Who cold calls at all? Never. Very good. Okay, I do. Comply to the do not call list. For the love of God.
It's very expensive.
How expensive is it if you don't? $1,500 per month. Up to $1,500.
Just assume that's what you're looking at.
Yeah. Vendors, I see at least some of them. They don't like anymore. But we're gonna start.
Here's a vendor. Here's a vendor. Okay, Tyler.
Patty says thanks for your business.
Raise your hand,
We're gonna start on the right. Because I see most of them, I know, but we'll start with Jess. Or what do you do?
Oh, hello. Hi, Tess Bowman Insurance Group. We're here to help you guys with all of your insurance needs. We've been a KW partner for over 10 years. And we just want to help you guys in your business. So just let us know how we can do that.
Thank you. Tyler?
Hey guys, Tyler Williams with We Move. We do moving, junk removal, and we have roll-offs. So give us a call.
Jonathan with 417 Reiki. We get your locks changed, and you can call us from the comfort of your own office.
And they'll put all of your rentals on one key set. Right? Yeah.
Wow.
It's awesome.
Adam McGrath with the Mutual Insurance. We love helping your home buyers with their insurance needs. So thanks so much.
Or Casey or whomever. Casey, come on up. Anybody else? Is there any vendors we didn't talk to? I saw Patty said something. Oh, and Amy. We'll wait. Just a second.
Let me just do it.
Go for it. Yeah, that's what.
Amy Hunsaker Williams, the Collective Real Estate and Home Staging. If you need a vacant home stage, or even if you have someone who just needs a little help getting their home in order before listing, give me a call.
Thank you.
Casey Cooper with USA Mortgage. A couple things. What's going on with rates? Everybody knows that. One thing I want people to let everybody know is I know that we see news, the Fed rate, the Fed's increasing rates. That does actually not affect our mortgage rates. Our mortgage rates are secondary market. What's affecting those is inflation and the price of bonds. So if you see anything and you want to on Facebook or whatever, and you want to kind of act like you know what you know, and kind of throw it in somebody else's face, another agent from another brokerage or something, let them know that that's just a fear tactic. It's not the case. That's not what's causing mortgage rates to go up. It's not the Fed rate. Now, when it comes to land loans, car loans, things like that, that's what it's going to be affected because the bank is having to spend more money on their money, so they have to increase everything and pass it on to the customer. But as far as the secondary market mortgage rates, that's not it. So if you have any questions or anything, give whoever at USA Mortgage that you want to a call and just give.
So are all FHA loans, can you assume those? If you qualify.
Yes, you still sign documentation at closing that they're all assumed.
So I just think that's a great opportunity that people are missing because if interest rates go to 5%, somebody's got one at 3%, and the loan's assumable and you can save 2% on it, then the inflationary prices really aren't as effective, you know. So it's gone up $20,000, big deal if you can get a 3% loan right now. So you might reach back in your database and look and see who bought an FHA home 2 to 4 years ago. And just see who it is. Say that.
The kicker with the assumable stuff is, from what I've in 20 years, this year is my 20th year, I've never seen a loan mistake. The reason being, if you talk to the majority of investors, servicers, it's kind of like, Jim, if you're lending somebody money at 3%, a new person comes along and we've had inflation, would you rather get 7% return on your money or the 3% return on your money?
Is there a restrictive rule that prevents it?
There's not one restrictive rule. There's not one restrictive rule at all, but I have never talked to a servicer or another investor lender that will do it because they're going to make more money off the new loan. So that's typically why it's not done. But yes, there is still documentation that everybody signs at closing that it is assumable. So it's just, I would highly suggest that the client that's selling the home call their investor, call their servicer to see if they will allow it. That's the most important thing before they advertise it. Do what?
How can they prevent it? The servicer.
They can, I mean, it's like, they can just do whatever they want. It's their money. They can say, no, we won't let them assume it. You know what I mean? It's just.
They can unqualify them.
Well, they wouldn't have to, they couldn't really unqualify them because the Equal Credit Opportunity Act. So they really can't just turn them down. You know, somebody comes in with 800 score and there's 30% equity in the house. They can't just really say no. But so I don't really know the legalities behind all that because that's something that we do not deal with. But I've not ever seen one get assumed.
Well, I'm old enough that I've seen them assumed.
So, what?
Yeah.
Oh, no, yeah, no, back in the 80s and late 70s, assumable was a huge thing. I mean, it was gigantic back then. It really was. But
70s and 80s, are you going to take that one?
What did I heard it? Find houses for sale.
Correct.
And so don't just throw that away. If you've got somebody in an FHA home, you know, if you're listening, say, well, you know, what are you paying in interest? 3%.
And there's a lot of leverage out there on the market that people just aren't going through. Like I've got a contract for deed right now, and the house is probably worth 80 grand, and the people are buying it for 45 is what they agreed upon when they did the contract. I'm just doing a gift of equity. These people are paying payment because they don't have a down payment. Their credit's not the greatest, but I can still do an FHA loan with 10% down and go to a 520 score or 500 score. Actually, they've got a 520 score. So I can do that as long as the sellers are willing to do a gift of equity. To my knowledge, now granted, I'm not a tax pro by any means, but to my knowledge, there's no tax repercussions by doing a gift of equity. It's only a gift of cash. So these sellers, once they talk to their accountant, they're okay with doing it. So there's so many opportunities out there for people to do things. Just, you got to kind of get creative, basically. I have a lot of people coming to me with 20% down. I'm like, let's do 15% down. Buy down your rate, pay upfront mortgage insurance. That I have one right now. They're buying $400,000 house. The upfront mortgage insurance is only $1,000. And so we spent $6,000 on buying down the rate, $1,000 upfront mortgage insurance, and you're still saving $5 grand considering putting down, compared to putting down 20%. So they're happy, they're thrilled. So it just takes a lot of creativity to get these things done. The programs are still out there. All right, Chelsea, you're up. I was like,
I don't need to stand up. No, I'm not like better than everyone. And I'll be quick. I'm Chelsea with Onward Agent Services. We are going to be rolling out some new social media content and management services this week. So if you need help with your social media, come talk to us. We're in the main office.
Awesome. And if Casey said anything that you didn't understand, a word or anything like that, go talk to Casey. You guys should know what all those words mean.
So thank you to all of our vendors. I just want to point out that our vendors are part of our team. So having the right partners in business is what makes the difference. So appreciate you guys. More you know.
George here?
George is a joke. What?
Whoa.
Make sure your clients are ready. Do we even have?
Yes, we do. We have both.
Yes. So we have.
I'll let you just roll with this for a second. This is all you, boss.
All right. So who in here has ever sold a home warranty? So most of the room. So me too.
All right, you go ahead. You're good.
So I don't think we have anyone here from HSA. If we do, come. And since we don't, the tip for the month was make sure your client's AC systems are ready for warmer weather. Just briefly, real quick, who could tell me one quick story of how having the home warranty saved a deal? Speak loud.
Yeah, I had a couple of clients that they were buying a house in July, and the AC, it was from like
the 1980s. This hasn't been that long ago. And they were like, the previous homeowners didn't use it at all. They were natural people who didn't like AC, thought it was poison. So the HSA came in though, and we're able to fix the system, get it working properly so that my clients could buy the house and move in July with air conditioning. So it was a pretty good deal.
That's awesome. Well, it's one thing you can't inspect in the wintertime in a house. So if you have someone that is not comfortable with that risk, home watch is a good solution.
But they build us up in the room that we bought. We bought in the winter and you couldn't do it.
Yes.
Broker moment. Talking.
Jim,
you got anything back there?
Yeah, I was discussing the fact that you can't actually test that conditioner in the winter, but you've got to have an AC specialist who understands how to do it. You can do it.
Okay.
As far as the broker moment, we had another contract class yesterday with a couple of agents that are growing their business and things like that. But the first thing I always start the contract classes off with is, what's your primary job?
Writing contracts.
No. Lead generation. Yeah. So we talk about that every time first before we talk to the contract, because the contract's not hard, correct?
Right.
No, you just fill in the damn blanks. I mean, it's pretty simple, right?
Hope for the day.
You can't write a contract unless you lead generate. So start there, and obviously with onward services and some others, you should start with the sphere of influence and then work out from that direction, because that's the best source of business for anybody new or old.
Say that louder really fast. Sphere of influence is what? The best source of lead generation if you're newer?
Yeah.
Start there, then we're
love it. You can be in the business 30 years and still your sphere of influence. And as an example, you know, I still work somewhat in real estate. And I don't call anybody. I mean, I call people, but I just call them to be social, and we still generate a lot of business in our group because of that. But a new agent can't rely on that because they don't have 26 years of experience. You know, they haven't satisfied a bunch of customers, so they've got to go out and prove themselves by satisfying one, and hopefully that leads to the next. And we all talk about, we don't probably, but we should. You'd have 10 people in your sphere, right? Right now, that would write a contract with you in a minute. Well, they're not out moving and they're not out buying, they're not all selling. But those 10 people have 10 people that aren't in your sphere of influence. And that's that will that you've got to somehow get inside of. And you've got to work that.
Yeah. So to catapult off what Jim's saying, who in here watches football? Who's been to a football game in person?
We got more people that watch football than lead generate.
Who can tell me who's the 12th man on the field?
What?
Yeah,
Who? The crowd. Why do they call them the 12th man on the field?
Because
they're important for the game.
Yeah.
So why do they call it home field advantage?
So the crowd.
Those are your raving fans.
Those are your fans. Your raving fans. And when you win, what do those fans say?
Yippee.
They say we won, right? We won, and they're not on the field. So in real estate, in your business, who are your raving fans? Who is your 12th man on the field that you need to incorporate in your world to help you build your business?
Obviously, only if you're a good football team, but
even bad football teams.
That's true. So
you were Chiefs fan long enough.
That's true.
Yeah. We were still fans.
Didn't think of it. How's the market? More listings came on than contracts. That's really cool. Thank goodness.
Thanks.
I'm sure.
He's speechless.
560 versus 467.
They love it. Because when they put these, does everybody understand this slide? Because I know we go through it and we put it up every week in team meeting, but does everybody understand what this means? Because this tells you to tell your people. Your 12th man, this tells your fans, this tells everyone what's going on. Like the fact that we have 560 new contacts, 409 pending, 265 closed. Like we've been talking about it in this place. I had a lunch with somebody yesterday and I told them how many. Yeah, Willard had like 4 homes on the market. And Ozark had something like, oh wow, we're in a housing crisis. Like, yeah. We should know. Okay, I need to call everyone and tell them we're in a housing crisis. Okay. But this will keep you up to date. every single week. But you don't have to do any data. All you have to do is come here for 45 minutes to an hour a week, and you can see this, and then just regurgitate it to the people you know, and you might fall into business. It's good to know. You know, anything to that?
I would just say, I think it's really great that our leadership always gives us this every week. So what's one thing you could do with this slide after the team meeting?
Post it on social media.
Like everybody in here should be posting this every day after team meeting.
Sure. Has anybody posted on social media before? Does everybody have their phone with them? Well, everyone do me a favor and take a photo of this right now and just post it to your social
And you add it first.
That's just people doing it. Thank you for doing that. You'd be surprised what that does.
Hey, before you move on from that though, you know, there's been commentary that there's a trend in increasing inventory. There's not. No. The one number I always run just because it's interesting is every Monday I look and see all the active listings in Springfield. Last week there were 149 on Monday. Yesterday there was 133. I mean, the trend is not up. And a lot of times those numbers are skewed even because somebody lists 25 lots. And you think, okay, we got 20, and we don't, you know.
Freaking lots.
It's really not trending up yet. We're not gaining inventory. And this, even though we're not getting 25 offers, which somebody told me yesterday, they had 17 offers on a home over the weekend. But the point is, a lot of houses aren't getting 20 anymore, but they're getting 5. Or they're getting stupid offers, you know, that they can't refuse whether they want to or not. Point is, they're all still selling. Yeah, I think, but I did see a price reduction, I think, last week on the house.
I've actually seen a couple of them.
Yeah. I guess that's a good trend, but I just don't see any increase in inventory, and that's the thing that's going to drive the market. So, you know, we can't stop it. It'll continue to inflate home prices, and it'll continue to just, you know, make buyers agents show and write offers till they're dead.
I was on a call the other day, and someone said, we don't have an inventory problem, we have a days on the market problem. Like, it's not that we have an inventory problem, it's just that they're selling so quickly. If they weren't selling the same day, then it's the same problem.
To Jim's point, I just pulled up broker metrics.
Talk louder.
So to Jim's point, I just pulled up the broker metrics that Rachel sent out. Last month, February 2022, we had 241 units or homes on the market that were on from 0 to 90 days. This month, or I guess March, we had 214. So it's not like we're gaining inventory very quickly.
Is that all of Somo?
Yeah.
It is, yeah.
You see, that goes from Kabul to Pittsburgh, Missouri, to Joplin, to Lebanon. I mean, it's just a huge area.
Yeah.
I worry about that as the main thing. Inventory is the main driver. It always is. And so if you don't have any inventory, then the houses can't. We need for the house prices to settle so that first-time home buyers can eventually re-enter the market, because without a first-time home buyer, you don't have a move-up buyer. Yeah, we got to move down.
Just want to say thanks to everybody that's listening right now. Like, I'm looking around and seeing a lot of people engaged to the information that's being passed around. You guys can get this information anytime, any day. You can walk into Jim's office. I'm sure you could call anyone to give you this, because this is what makes you knowledgeable. Like, these conversations that we're talking about are the things that's like put KW agents apart from the ones, for sure. And it's looking up. You did that in 30, 45 seconds. Huge.
Technically, I think it came from Rachel.
Yeah. Sorry, yeah. When I say looked it up, I pulled it up in his email. From Rachel.
I mean, if you're not reviewing this and understanding it, feel free to holler at me. But we go over it as a team. I mean, as soon as they come out, we dissect everything that we can. I was just telling Drew here that no price change. Listings are selling at 100.8%, so basically 101%. One price change, it's 92.9. So we're talking about that price change just cost your client 8%.
Wow.
You just cost your commission plus if you overprice the property.
And it uses averages. So can somebody tell me what an average is? Now, this should blow your mind. The average home is selling for over list price. The average of everything that is selling is above 100%.
Not some of them, not every now and then, every single one.
Brian Fisher just put on there 37 price changes today on MLS.
Oh, wow.
How many of those were lots?
What do you say?
37 price changes today.
Yep. I can't see the thing further out.
I think it's at 60.
61 new, 43 new contracts, 25.
In Dallas this time, so.
Say again.
So I got 2 in Dallas, so I'm on those numbers.
This was 2022. This is one of my spreadsheets.
This is weekly listings.
Weekly active listings.
Yeah, 599. Same as last week. So last week is, yeah. That's wild. Red Day, you speak to Red Day?
Sure. Can you tell me what Red Day is?
We've got to teach you guys better. Holy cow. Somebody.
Red Day is an event that
Somebody besides John.
I got this. I thought you made it. Let's do it. It's a national day for Keller Williams agents to go out and support a local nonprofit in their area, and everybody comes together and gets some help done for the community.
On the same day, all Keller Williams do this.
Renew, energize, and donate.
Yes. And you guys can do a morning shift. You guys can do all day. You can do an afternoon shift. I want to say the Sunshine Lanes is the 8th.
The 3rd.
The 3rd is that on you?
Yeah.
Sure.
It's probably back on this.
Nicole 3rd. Yeah, okay. So you can sign up
First off, yeah, sign up for sure. We have the bowling lanes. I think we have a whole bowling alley for us. There's going to be pizza. Like, you should do this. You and your spouses or your friends or and everything. This is good stuff. Right, Jessam?
Yes. Generators. And you want to support Red Day?
Call businesses. Call businesses. You can do both at the same time. I put that challenge up to the coaching group, and we had one member in coaching that in charitable donations for our auction raised a monetary value that was about 1/3 of our goal by herself in 1 week by lead generating for Red Day.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's really cool.
I have one last thing about Red Day real quick. So what happens very first thing in the morning on Red Day? For those that have been there several times, you know, remember? They have that where they don't they put the broadcast on from.
I've never showed up on time. So.
The morning message that happens very first at Red Day is awesome. So I just remember that as you're planning it out. That very first message that they have is awesome. So
it's really cool. You're talking about career development?
Yeah. So who's here been to an ALC meeting? Awesome. So my committee is the career development. And one thing we've been working on so far this year has how can we add more value to our teachers that are teaching our classes or instructors? How can we add more value to them so that they can add more value to you? And so we've come up with really a process to become a Market Center approved trainer. So whenever you see the Market Center approved trainer, you know this person has went through a lot more steps to add value to you. And so this is a process. If you have interest in being a part of this and going through this process, on April 26th at 4 o'clock, me and Les and Rachel are going to go over the steps of what that looks like. It's okay if you're not ready now and you still have interest. The pathway is still there. So we've been working on what does that pathway look like. And then for those that want to continue on and become a trainer for Keller Williams International, we got the press touch too. So you can come learn that process. Wes is going down the road right now. So
Real quick, guys, Nicole posted in the box that if you want to order t-shirts, last day appears to be April 25th.
I actually just put all the links for everything. So to sign up for actual Red Day, that's when you actually are able to come to Dogwood Ranch, and then also what jobs you want to do or what supplies you can bring. And then the other thing is our bowling night on May 3rd at Sunshine Lanes. Auction, silent auction, all of that is included with those prices. There is suggested donation.
I guarantee whatever she's saying is how it works.
Can you not hear me?
She just.
Oh, she muted herself.
Oh, no, she coming down. Okay.
We didn't know. She has no idea.
So I on the LCI do financial planning. So basically everybody here knows I can put people over numbers a lot, but that doesn't mean that I do not understand the utility of numbers. So if you want to figure out your finances, if you want to just basically put a plan in place, that's what I'm doing with that. And it's very fluid, but really it's financial planning and the steps that it takes to create a financial plan. We were learning the same thing. What are you saying? Fairhaven for realtor.
Wait,
yep.
Go back to that slide on the Fairhaven. It is Fair Housing Month.
Yeah.
You really should go to that. It takes about 30 minutes. It's cool. I did it twice last year. And it's always a good idea to see whether you know what you think you know. And most of the time we don't. So if you go to that, just Fairhaven. What did you say there? It's a slideshow. It's interactive. You go in and answer questions. It's not like CE. You're not understanding anything, but it will enlighten you because we don't think we have any fair housing problems, right, in our area. But I'm sure we do at some point. I've had clients who have told me that I won't sell to this, I won't sell to that, and you just have to say, okay, you're working with the wrong guy. But you should go into that. It's really simple. You should write that down or copy it or take a picture of it or do something because it's we don't spend enough time talking about it. And if you ever get caught with a fair housing violation, I think the minimum fine is $10,000, and it probably costs you a license. So it's worthwhile. You don't want to do it, that's okay. But I'm telling you, you should. That's okay. Sorry, thank you. That was great.
Eden Village Lunch and Learn. From 12 to 1:30, it's a GSBR. If you guys don't know, GSBR supports Eden Village a lot, which is basically I'm going to say homeless village because that's probably not the correct terms, but they've been helping them a lot. This is April 21st, 12 to 1:30.
Pastor Day sponsor as well, isn't it?
I think so, yeah.
You did Red Day there 2 years ago?
Yep. Yeah, we did. This is more about what that is. Affiliate Expo from 10 to 2, Tuesday, May 10th. If you're looking to build it, this is basically our affiliate list, but for the entire GSBR. I want to say it's over at Relics Event Center. Yep. You walk in, there's going to be door prizes. They give you a bingo card. You run through, they stamp your bingo card. You work all the way through. You might win something. It's pretty cool. Oh, this is not me. Some are required fields.
Onward, you want to take this?
Chelsea,
Oh, yeah, you have to have one photo.
You can have a photo.
Or let's see, maybe
It's like the lead-based
I
paint.
thought that was a rule.
I thought so.
They just had
We won't let you add the listing until you have the photo attached.
required fields. Yeah, you can't go live and think it's done.
Before they just give you a fine. Now you can.
Yeah.
Pretty cool. What does the one photo have to be? Front of the house. One photo has to be in front of the house.
Street view does work if you don't use it.
This week's focus, it's awards and honors week. And I think we've got 5 minutes. You guys ready? Oh, hold on. We do have a guest that's going to come help us with this. Come on up. So high school is what we did. We call it the Parkview Claps and Parkview Grad. So what we're going to do is we're going to are you going to put on music? Yes. Oh, very cool. Whenever you're ready. It's probably not going to be loud enough. So after we name a name, 2 claps, move on to the next thing. Name 2 claps, 2 claps, 2 claps. So you're 7. Because we sell a lot of real estate. We didn't win a lot of games. Mark Scappers, this is you. I'll go first. Written out against row. That's a clap.
Tasha Driscoll. Samantha Callers.
First closing, Eric Connell, last Ricardo. That'll be cool. Rick Froswell?
Tamara Simpson.
First closings, Brian Jackson, Brian Snyder, David Lynn, You're actually All right, listings taken. We know this means this is future business coming in. We've got Dusty Capone, Tammy Cottle Holt,
Humphrey, Springfield, Ashley Jones, Rob Luck, Riley Wilson. Oh, your turn.
Tim Moody, Amy Hunsinger Williams, Austin McCord, Brian Bishop, Chris Block, Kevin Adams, and Savannah Slater. As individuals, Dusty took 12, by the way. I think that's a beast, man.
Yeah, this is ridiculous.
Listings taken as a team. We've got Cross-Eyed Homes at 13, Zachary Real Estate at 7, Bill Realty Group at 5, Brothers Real Estate at 4, Red Smiley Real Estate at 4, and the closest agent. I'm gonna breathe you out. Whole thing's all you.
Okay, Versus Network 21, Brian Real Estate at 17, Phil Reed 11, Nancy Harris 10, Evan Ryan 6, PC Coaching 6. Wow. EA Group 5, Jason L 5, Jennifer Rose 5, and Alex Moore Group 5.
You guys keep going. You're doing good. All right, listing volume total. You guys focus on this column, and I'll focus on the names. Today we call a Holt, the home team, Home Sweet Springfield, Ashley Jones, Kevin Adams, James Bolin, Tim Mooneyham, Liliana Owen, who's the Mission Moment winner, and then Austin Picard, Chris Block. I'm sorry, all individuals. That's great. Listing volume by team. Hit it, Kim, go fast.
Contact Homes, the Clover Agency,
3.4 million.
Group,
2 million. Keep going.
Brothers,
1.5 million. 1.2 million.
and the Homegirl.
Listing volume group. I'm going to start with the first one because Kim doesn't know how to say it. Baruch Network. 8.4 million. Wow, 8.4.
You should tell people how to say it.
Grady Real Estate at 4.4. The Alex Moore Group at 3.8. Tammy Berry Real Estate at 2.9. Phil Reed at 1.8. The EA Group at 1.6. Galloway Partner at 1.3. The coaching program at 1.2 million, which is awesome. Beautiful Girl Real Estate at 1.1. 7 Missouri Realty at 1.1. Individual contracts written for the solo agents. Chris Rock at 14. Paulina at 13. Dusty at 10. Brian Fisher at 9. Riley Real Estate at 8. Ashley Jones 8. Tammy at Colonel Holt at 8. Oscar Bacaric at 7. And Randy Buick at 7. That's a lot of contracts. Contracts written as teams. Cronkite Homes had 13. Smiley Real Estate had 8. Vanessa Williams Real Estate had 7. Brothers Real Estate had 6. Jose Hazar had 7 or 6. 407 Realty had 6. And Eric and Penny had 5. Something is dying down a little busting now super fast. Contracts written per group. The Versus Network had 68. 56. Choice Realty at 13. Evan Ryan team 11. Play LC 10. Jason and L Rose at 10. Phil Reed Real Estate at 10. And we just Real Estate at 10. That's a lot of contracts. Contracts written individual volume. This is all you, Tim. Turbo mode. Hit it.
Chris Block,
7.4.
Tammy Holt,
4.7.
Ashley Jones,
4.3.
Holly Nabar,
3.1.
Sheila Long,
2.4.
Austin Picard,
2.2.
Liliana Owen,
2.2.
Brian Fisher,
2.1. We're at 2.2.
Dusty Capone,
2.1.
Kevin Adams.
You got the closing agency. Give it the volume this time.
Okay, 10.4.
Cronkite Homes. 4 million. Brett Smiley Real Estate, 2.8 million. Brothers Real Estate, 2.2 million. Renessa Williams Real Estate, 1.9. Red Door Associates, 1.6 million. Eric and Penny, 1.2 million. Harrison team, we're gonna call $1 million. Stacey Omer Hicks at 850,000. Brandy Massey team, 800,000. Home Girls at 750,000. But we have an inventory problem. The Baruch Network is 18.7 million in volume. Grady Real Estate is 17.8. Clay and Clay Real Estate, or Clay and Clay LLC is 3.6. Evan Ryan team 3.5. Richardson Real Estate 3.5. Galloway Gardner 2.5. Galloway Gardner 2.5. Owner's Choice Real Estate is 2.5. Phil Reed is 2.3. And Steve Realty is 2.1. Closed unit individual. got a lot of money this month. Dusty Capone had 13. Home Sweet Springfield had 6. Ken Rooneyham had 6. Paulina Nyber had 6. Brian Fisher had 5. Brady Dooley had 4. Latisha Lattimore had 4. Ryan Stewart had 4. Sarah Winfield had 4. And Ryan Lewis had 4 as well. Closed units for teams. 4-7 Realty at 8. Cronkite 8. Eric and Penny at 8. But Smiley Real Estate at 7. Brothers had 5. Vanessa Real Estate had 5. Rick Cantrell Real Estate had 4. Real Estate Pogar had 4. Harrison Team had 4. Redwood Associates had 4. Stacey Over Hicks, Star Architects had 4. Women Real Estate had 4. Closed units for the group. Wow. Goodness gracious. Bruce had 68. Scotty Real Estate at 56. Honors Choice Realty at 13. Evan Ryan Team 11. Plain Play 10. Jason and Nell 10. Phil Reed 10. Richardson Real Estate 10. If you guys aren't closing this many deals, call these people. They're listening for you to call. Individual volume. Dusty Capone had 2.7 million closed. Ken Rooney had 2.3 closed. Home Sweet Springfield at 1.4. Brian Fisher sitting at 1.3. Robert Blitz at 1.1. Brian Stewart at 1.1. Paulina Navar at 1.1. And Haley Fraser at 1 million. How many slides do we have? 4-7 Realty had 1.3 million. David Sheila Wall at 2.4. Cronkite Homes is sitting at 2.4. Brothers Real Estate at 931,000. Red Door Associates at 845. Eric and Penny at 775. Vanessa Williams Real Estate at 717. And the Harrison Team at 600,000. March closed volume. It's 11. How'd you know that? Well, the Real Estate Network at 11.7 closed. Granny Real Estate at 10.2. That's crazy, guys. Purchasing Real Estate 3.6. Evan Ryan Team 2.1. Jason and L Realtors 1.8. Z Realty Experts. That's clever. 1.8. The Property Gurus 1.5. The EA Group 1.5. Jennifer Grove Real Estate 1.1. Robinson Lions Realty that's 1.1. Stone Realty Group 1.1. Woo! You guys want to be on that list next week so I can speed read your name really fast? Somebody hit them on a 5 minutes over survey super fast. Do you guys know how to get your year-over-year trend?
Yes.
Has anybody sold more than one home a year? Let's see by hands who sold more than one home a year. There we go. You guys should go follow these steps so you can see when you sell what you sell because it's a trend for a reason. Some good data to have. You guys can take it to Jason. You guys can take it to Tim, Mike, to anyone and help you figure out why you're selling certain amounts when or me. Okay. Lower language real estate with the current stats. Yep. Oh yeah. Who are our winners? We got to draw stuff. Who's afraid though? Not afraid at all. This is for the agent.
I don't have one. I'm not an agent.
I didn't do it.
Lee.
He tried to put 3 cards in there, guys. I told him.
I only need one.
It's over here. I almost want to say like $100 here. You can guess who it is.
Macy Cooper.
He left.
Oh.
All right, this is all you, man. I had to read them all off. It's just Bowman.
Hey.
Tech Tuesday, this Tech Tuesday coming up, that's it? Tech Tuesday? Who's been Tech Tuesday? Don't miss Tech Tuesday. Yeah. Appreciate you guys coming. Appreciate you.
Thank you.